I'm just going to have three quick types of remarks. I think I will use about 5 minutes, if you can tell me when the 5 minutes are there. Certainly, I want to reflect, I think, what certainly our team in ESCWA was feeling, that this is an excellent opportunity for us to have been able to discuss with all the institutions that are present, that are represented here, and definitely with ESCWA as individuals. This type of discussion between research, policy, and others is extremely important. I would like to illustrate some of what we in ESCWA are taking from these types of interactions, whether with IFPRI or with our other guests here, by probably going to the 2 points that Fauzi, you just made. From some of the experience in actual rural development and the political aspect of rural development, often transitions is when things can actually happen by cutting some of the steps. So, for example, something that came very strongly all through the 2 days, and certainly is part of what we in ESCWA are taking in moving forward, is the importance of local government, decentralization, and those aspects, and how do you make it happen. We talked about the link of this with the Arab Spring and others, and many times maybe this is an opportunity. If anyway there is a loss of trust in the central government, to try and rebuild that trust from the bottom up, from the regions, in doing those types of things. So maybe this is an opportunity, and certainly these are areas of research for us at the policy level, of grabbing that and looking at the fact that these changing times are the times for us as trying to quickly come with solutions where we have things that can be implemented, but also asking the proper questions in a new mode, a mode where things are moving. Let me then say that as the 2 days were going, we had selected people who were helping me in taking notes. I will not go through the notes, but quite a bit of ideas of specific research questions are there. I have just selected the ones that I feel either reflect the more regional aspect of Arab countries as a region. What can we learn from outside, but also what can we learn from each other? What are the types of initiatives and the things that really reflect new ideas that came from this meeting? The way that I was presented with these are like a matrix where there are common themes: monetary policy, fiscal policy, a bit like what you had there on the policy aspects, and research. And then you have the three-pronged strategy for food security that we are still trying to see how far we can go with there, on social policy, agriculture productivity, and improved markets and financing. Some of the ideas that with IFPRI and with others we will try and advance on are things like governance, public expenditure and institutional review, expenditures and institutional review, in order to achieve an effectively harmonized and holistic approach to food security and social policy, studying potential effects of institutional decentralization in this respect. Should an early warning system be a bit more effective, be established between Arab countries on issues on food security for the various aspects that are linked to social policy, land leases and agriculture FDI, again, across social productivity and also the financial aspects, land administration, regional development policies. Can these policies address increasing subnational socioeconomic disparities in the region? This is on the social aspect. On the agricultural productivity, some of the regional things, how to consolidate the current plethora of agriculture and research and development funds, is there a need to do what we're doing right now, but actually to then go into joint programs that rationalize a bit those expenditures. Then you have the improved markets and financing, fiscal policy, grain reserves. We heard a lot about it. You have, I know that I missed some of the new things. Certainly the nutritionists amongst us will be happy to see that things that had not been identified before are now in here. Although we had looked a lot at in ESCWA on issues of food safety standards, but on the nutrition side, this will, I can guarantee, will become a bit more important. Where do we move, where do we go from here? We are very interested at ESCWA to, at least for some of our work, to ally ourselves with institutions like IFPRI and others that do research, but also to have the link with the large-scale investments. I think we had a lot of feedback saying, but what did all these millions do? Whether it's public expenditure or external assistance and others. I believe that we are well equipped to be able to use those large-scale programs and projects in order to learn more lessons, not only to be able to deflect those questions, but to actually learn what works and what doesn't. It's much more effective to go into a large-scale experiment, if you want to call it, but it's really implementation of a policy, learn from it over 6-7 years that are typically those the time for those development projects. I think these are very practical things that certainly we would be very interested in using those to get more data, more information. This is also one of the specific requests that came from our discussions. And finally, certainly increasing our ability to share this knowledge amongst ourselves. So certainly, I think I speak for the whole of ESCWA in, again, saying that it seems to me we have come to good results. As far as implementation, we have already designed that from tomorrow we will have at the regional level a meeting of the thematic working group on food security. We will be sharing any of the results of that one, but at least we will identify a couple of things that come out of this two-day conference to be able to start this new phase in our partnership. At the very end, I would like to use this list by thanking specifically people who have helped us with those 2 days. Thank you.